everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Leslie. Thank you for joining me. Today I am back with week 2 of my project life for 2020, and I'm just going to remind you that if you would like to see my kit that I put together, the kit reveal for this year, I will at the end of the video link it to the end of the video, and then I will also link the last week, week 1, to the end of this video, so you'd be able to see what I'm using and then last week's video as well. So I'm just going to go through my 4x6 cards now and to see what I want to use. I printed out my photos way before the time so that I don't have to fuss around with that and I can just get on cracking with the documenting of this. It did take some time to plan out my photos. I use what do I use for my... I use Pic-Collage for to organize my photos and to sort of be able to make those vertical photos, and that's there in the middle. You can see I've just got one there, the 3x2. And yeah, so I'm just going through my cards, and I've still got obviously a lot of these cards, and I'm not fussed that the corners are rounded. I've explained this in the previous video. I decided to keep my photos square cornered, and the cards will obviously be rounded, and the cards that I added from another collection, I will just round the corners of those as well. Now you can see at the top of the, excuse my lighting, my camera is doing its own thing at the moment. It's overexposing and then it's sort of fixing itself. At the top left, I've got this wood grain card that says this week, and it balances out the wood grain on the bottom right photo of the table. And I intentionally did it that way so that there's a nice balance. And I knew I wanted a lot to journal, so I knew I had a lot to journal for the bottom right photo of the kid sitting at the table. So I put that card next to it that says noted so that I could have lots to journal about. So I'm just going through my 2x3 cards, and I'm struggling to find something that would fit in there but would also complement the two 4x6s. So it is, obviously I've got tons of these, so I need to sort of get through them to see what I can use. I wanted a spot where I could journal though, so I needed something that would complement the two cards, would fit in that space, and would be a journaling spot, because I needed to write something about the photo next to it. So I've decided that this project life project will have lots of journaling in it. I don't always journal, well, most of the time I don't journal on my scrapbook pages. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. If I do, it's something very specific, but I don't always journal on my scrapbook pages. So I've decided that in this project life album, I am going to obviously tell the stories of the photos, and I want to journal a lot. I've always said to myself, I've got to go back and write, journal about my scrapbook pages, and then just slip the piece of paper in behind the scrapbook page so that whoever in the future looks through the book will be able to know what the photo's about, but I never get around to it. And I've got so many albums now that I think it's a lost cause. But I think this idea of journaling in the project life is quite a good idea. So these are some Felicity-Jane puffy stickers. They're just black and white. And I'm going to be placing that bow right over that black strip at the bottom of that 2x3 journaling card. I'm going to be journaling about Lucy on that card. That's why I put a bow on it. And I'm going to be placing the little word sticker that says smile on top of that selfie that I took of our family. And that day we went to IKEA and we actually bought a bed for Lucy. And there you see Lucy's lying in her little bed, and it's a bed that expands. So as she grows with the bed, or the bed grows with her, rather. So yes, I'm just going through my Felicity-Jane stamps to see if there's anything I would like to use in this page. Now, this is going to be a very basic page. There's not going to be much of anything on it. very finicky and so on. So I decided I have to do something with this card at least to make it just a little bit more interested. So I'm going to be going out with that little flag stamp. It's got a very thin stripe that outlines a little banner or a flag, and I'm using my VersaFine Onyx black ink, and I'm going to be placing a little paper behind the card so that I could just and there you see, stamp that little flag off of the card so that it looks like the flags are staggered. And if you hear a lot of children in the background, all four of my kids are off school today. Andre's school has teacher training today. Lucy's at home, obviously, and then the two homeschoolers are also at home. So we are all having an off day, and the kids are playing downstairs having a ball. So if you hear screaming and so forth, it's just my kids being kids. So I'm using my little letter stamps, my little alpha stamps, just to stamp out week 2. And I've decided to use these stamps to go throughout the album, to write the titles week 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth, because they are small, and there will be some continuity throughout the album. I'm just using a very fine pen to just go over the little bits that didn't stamp quite properly. And because these stamps, they are off-brand stamps, so they're not going to be perfect, and I kind of like the fact that it's all higgledy-piggledy and not all in a straight line and all of that. So I really wanted to use some more of those black and white puffy stickers from Felicity-Jane, but I'm going to use it in a bit. I'm taking these from Felicity-Jane as well, and these are some little enamel dots, and I'm just using the sort of the earthy colors just to put on those 2 little flags at the top left of that card. And that's it for that card. Very simple. And then I'm going to slide that photo in. I've finished with that photo. So now all that's left to do for this little card is to journal on it. And I'm just going to be writing about the fact that Lucy gets her own bed, and we went to IKEA, and I took the photo of us on the stairs at IKEA, and she's very chuffed with her little bed, and that the bed extends as she grows. So there you go. And as I've said before, I am writing in capitals for this album, just so that everything looks the same. I find that my handwriting changes quite a bit when I write normally, so this sort of forces my handwriting to look the same throughout the album, and I think that's going to be a very nice form of continuity throughout the album. This card, I'm also journaling quite a lot about it. I'm just talking about homeschooling, and this is now the term 2 of homeschooling that started, and it's Etienne's first term of homeschooling, and the fact that the first couple of days or the first week of homeschooling, he was like so shocked that we don't sit down for 7 hours every day to homeschool like they do at school, 7 hours busy. We're just busy for a few hours, and he was quite impressed with the fact that he can get through his work in his own time, and if he gets through it in 10 minutes, he gets through it in 10 minutes. So that's it. I'm using that black and white heart sticker from that puffy sticker collection, and this is from Studio Calico. They are like little washi strips that's printed on, and I'm going to be using that little sticker that says "You're never fully dressed without a smile." No, seasons change and so do we, and it's all about homeschooling and how Etienne's now a homeschooler, and it's all changed. So this is it. Please watch out for my next week. I'm going to try and get January uploaded before February starts, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.